Hello everyone, this is Shantanu Bhosale and welcome you all in Curious Academy. Today we will learn about lesson 3 of the Vedic culture. After the Harappan cities faded away around 1500 BC, their systems slowly crumbled. Around the same time, a new people arrived, the Indo-Aryans speaking Sanskrit. They came through the northwestern mountain passes, likely in small groups, settling first in the valleys and plains of Punjab. These early Aryans were cattle herders, always searching for fresh pastures. Over time, they moved eastward into the Indo-Gangetic plains, and by the 6th century BC, they had spread across North India, a land they called Aryavarth. This era, from 1500 BC to 600 BC, marks the rise of Vedic culture, divided into two phases: the early Vedic or Rig Vedic period 1500 to 1000 BC and the later Vedic period 1000 to 600 BC, an age of new settlements, rituals, and growing kingdoms. The true homeland of Aryans has long been a mystery, with scholars suggesting places like Germany, Central Asia, the Arctic, and southern Russia. Indian thinker Bal Gangadhar Tilak even believed they came from the Arctic based on astronomical clues. But most historians agree that the Aryans likely came from the steppes of the southern Russia. From there, they migrated across Asia and Europe, and around 1500 BC, a group entered India, becoming known as the Indo-Aryans. They brought with them their language, Sanskrit, and began a new chapter in Indian history. Vedic literature refers to the oldest sacred texts of India. The word Veda means superior knowledge, derived from the root Ved, means to know. There are four Vedas: Rig Veda, the oldest, containing 1028 hymns in praise of gods. Yajurved contains rules for sacrifices. Samved, a book of chants linked to the origin of Indian music. Atharvaved includes ritual and magical practices. Other important texts include Brahmanas, explain prayers and sacrifices, Upanishads, philosophical texts on soul, creation, and nature, Aryankas, forest books focusing on mysticism and rituals, epics, Ramayana by Valmiki and Mahabharata by Vedavyas. In the Rig Vedic age, 1500 to 1000 BC, the Aryans settled in the land of Saptasindhu, the region of 7 rivers: Indus, Saraswati, and the 5 rivers of Punjab, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj. During this time, they lived mainly in the Indus region, and much of what we know about their political, social, and cultural life comes from the hymns of the Rig Veda. These verses paint a picture of early Aryan life shaped by rivers, rituals, and a deep connection to nature and the divine. Political organization. In the Rig Vedic times, society was organized like a growing family tree. It began with the Kula or family, which formed the core unit. Many families came together to form a village, led by a Gramini. Several villages made up a Vishu, headed by a Vishayapati, and many such groups together formed a Jana or tribe, the highest political unit. There were many tribes like the Bharatas, Matsyas, Yadus, and Purus. Each was ruled by a Rajan or king, usually chosen by hereditary succession. He was guided by a Purohita and protected by a Senani. People also had a say in governance through two assemblies: Sabha, a council of elders, and Samiti, a gathering of the people, laying early roots of the participatory politics. In the Rig Vedic period, life centered around the family or Graham, led by the Grahapati, the male head. Society was patriarchal, but women held a respectable place. They took care of the home, joined in rituals, and were given equal chances for learning and spiritual growth. Some, like Apala, Ghosha, Lopamudra, and Vishwavara, even became renowned poets. Women could attend public assemblies, and there was no child marriage or sati. People wore cotton and wool garments, adorned themselves with ornaments, and enjoyed simple, wholesome food: wheat, barley, dairy, fruits, and vegetables. Cow's meat was avoided as the cow was sacred. For fun, they loved chariot and horse races, dancing, music, and dance. Though society had social classes, they weren't strict or rigid. Life was still fluid and open compared to later times. In the Rig Vedic age, the Aryans lived as pastoral people and their wealth was measured in cattle. As they began settling permanently in North India, they turned to farming, especially with the help of iron tools, which allowed them to clear forests and grow crops. Carpenters thrived using the wood from cleared lands, crafting chariots and plugs. Metal workers shaped tools and ornaments from copper, bronze, and iron, while spinners wove cotton and wool into fabric. Goldsmiths made fine ornaments, and potters created useful household vessels. Trade was growing, with rivers as transport routes. Goods were mostly exchanged through barter, but in later times, gold coins called nishaka were used for bigger deals, marking the early roots of a vibrant economy. In the Rig Vedic age, the Aryans looked up to the nature as divine. They worshipped the forces of earth, fire, wind, rain, and thunder, giving them names and forms. Indra, the god of thunder and war, was their favorite, seen as the mighty protector. Agni, the god of fire, came next, acting as a messenger between people and gods. Varuna watched over cosmic order, while Vayu and Prithvi were also honored. They even revered goddesses like Aditi and Ushas, the dawn. There were no temples or idols, just chants, prayers, and offerings of ghee, milk, and grains. Worship was about rituals and rewards, hoping the gods would bless them in return. As time moved into later Vedic period, 1000 to 600 BC, the Aryans expanded eastward, settling in the eastern Gangetic plains. As mentioned in the Satapatha Brahmana, small tribes gave way to larger kingdoms. The Kuru and Panchala kingdoms rose first. Parikshit and Janamejeya led the Kurus, while Pravahana Jaivalli, a great patron of learning, ruled the Panchalas. After their decline, Koshala, Kashi, and Videha gained importance. Ajatshatu ruled Kasi, and Janaka, the wise king of Videha, ruled from Mithila with the scholar Yajnavalkya in his court. To the east, Magadha, Anga, and Vanga emerged. The land was now seen in three parts: Aryavarta, north; Madhya Desha, central; and Dakshin Pattanam, south, marking the growing reach of Vedic culture across India. Now let's look at political organization. In the later Vedic period, the small tribes, Janas, became merging to form larger kingdoms, known as Janpadas or Rashtras. As kingdoms grew, so did the power of the king. To show his strength, the king performed grand rituals like Rajasuya, means royal consecration; Ashwamedha, means horse sacrifice; and Vajpaya, means chariot race. Kings took grand titles such as Ekrat, Samrat, and Abhilya Bhuvanapati, means Lord of all earth. With growing kingdoms came more officials. Besides, the Purohita means priest, Senani means army chief, and Gramini means village headman. There were now tax collectors, treasury officers, and royal messengers. While kings gained more power, the old people's assemblies like the Sabha and Samiti gradually lost their influence. In the later Vedic period, the widespread use of iron allowed people to clear forests and expand farming. Agriculture became the main livelihood. With improved tools and new crops like rice, wheat, and barley, farmers even knew how to use manure to enrich the soil. Crafts and industries flourished. Metalwork, leatherwork, carpentry, and pottery saw great progress. Trade also grew, both within India and overseas. The people even sailed to places like Babylon for trade. A new merchant class called Vaniyas emerged, while Vaishyas took up trade and formed guilds or ginas. Alongside Nishaka coins, new gold and silver coins like Satamana and Krishnanala were used, showing a more advanced economy. Now look at their social life. During the later Vedic period, society became more rigidly divided through the Varna system: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. The Brahmins and Kshatriyas enjoyed special privileges, while Vaishyas and Shudras were given lower status. Sometimes Kshatriyas even challenged the Brahmins for supremacy. Over time, many subcastes also emerged based on occupations. Within the family, the father's authority grew and the status of women declined. They lost the right to attend assemblies and child marriage became common. Some texts like Aitareya Brahmana viewed daughters unfavorably. Yet, women from royal families still enjoyed a few privileges in the courtly life. In the later Vedic period, old gods like Indra and Agni faded into the background, while new deities like Prajapati means creator, Vishnu means protector, and Rudra means destroyer rose to prominence. Sacrifices became grand and complex, overtaking simple prayers. Priesthood became a hereditary profession, and priests gained great power by creating detailed rituals. But now, everyone agreed with this growing priestly dominance. People began questioning the need for endless rituals. This led to the rise of new ideas and eventually to Buddhism and Jainism, which rejected sacrifice. Thinkers behind the Upanishad also turned inward, seeking true knowledge, means jnana, as the path to peace and liberation rather than ritual. Thank you for watching Curious Academy, and guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.